fairing that's going to be installed on 792. The fairing that's on here is all smashed up in pieces and stuff. So we have brand new 2 pieces of fairing. We also have brand new rubber that goes on here. And we just have to prep them and paint them. They are a little bit rough. So I'm just going over it real quick. Alright guys, we are getting ready to paint here. I have myself a trucker clothesline. Look at that. Trucker mechanic clothesline, we'll call it. We got our air line stretched out up to our pipe, our vent pipe for the sewer. And then we got some electrical wire hanging the pieces up so I can paint them, get all the way around them. And then they were too close to the ground. I couldn't get them tied up high enough. So I put a load bar in the middle. It's an adjustable one. I can make it higher or lower. Yeah. Alright guys, we're going to be mixing up some paint. This is actually the paint from the Kenworth, the 796 that I did a few weeks ago, and the other mechanic, he painted up the stuff. I don't know how it's going to match it. It's going to be close to match this truck. It's pretty close. Continental blue, I think they call it, or something. So we'll see how it matches up. But this is the fairings off of this truck, and on the driver's side, both the lower and upper are broke. So if the color doesn't match kind of perfect, it'll be okay because I'm replacing both. I always hate seeing trucks where they got one piece of fairing that's been replaced and it's a different color. So we're going to be doing that. Using this paint from Del Fleet Essential. HS polyurethane single stage. It's supposed to be mixed at 611. 6 parts paint. 1 part activator and 1 part hardener. So we've got these little mixing cups from PPG or whatever, and they got a charge rate on the side of them. So all you gotta do is just fill it right up to the line. Before I go started, you know what? Whenever you paint something, you always need to protect things that you're really worried about. Move the welder. There we go. We're good now. There, that's better. Much better. There we go. That's the first coat. And I'm going to let that dry for 10 minutes. Sit for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go and put the rest of this on it for another coat. This is sandable primer. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's saying all this. And what you do is you put it in there. It's a real high build primer. And I did it down to like 220 or something like that. And you put a nice thick coat of this on there, and it's a high build, and then it will then you can go back and sand this and get it nice and smooth. It fills in all the little stuff and all that. I've actually painted, I've sanded all those parts down, got them all smooth again, and sprayed those all with the primer too. And let all this dry. I think I'm gonna make up some chicken and rice in the old George Foreman. Stick some chicken breasts on there. So I think I'll do that and eat while this all cures and stuff, and then start wet sanding. Alright guys, we're doing a sand here before I apply the paint, and I'm working my way down in the grits. Right now I'm on an 800 grit, getting her all smooth. But I'll teach you a little trick. I don't teach you, but I actually went to school for auto body. But as I said earlier, I just didn't have the patience for the finish work. But when you're blending something like this, you have a painted part here. I want to paint as least amount as possible, and then I want to try to blend it in. You try not to get the seams, because where this tape edge is, you know, when I paint, it's going to be a line there and it's going to be higher than the other paint. So what you do is you do this. See, I masked it off and I put some sandable primer on there. And then what you do is you peel off, you put a little layer just about a ½ inch or so away from the other stuff like this. And then see, when you peel this off, there's the paint. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wet sand this, and see there's a ridge here that you can feel. Now if I paint the primer and then I paint the paint over the top of it in the same line, you're going to have a very high ridge. So what you do is you do this like about a ½ inch, and now I'll go in and wet sand just like this. See, I wet sand it, you can't feel any kind of ridge in here, kind of working it back until it blends in nice and smooth. So now I'm going to do the same thing with up here. But you just sit here and keep working on that seam until you can get a smooth transition from the old paint here onto the new one. See, right here, it's pretty good already. Doesn't take much. But this sandable primer, it's a very high build primer, so you get a pretty good seam. Well guys, good morning. Back in here. It's earlier in the morning. Temperatures are low. It's not the best paint job I ever did, but it's pretty good. For the conditions I got with all this humidity, it's pretty good. I'm going to do a quick wet sand on this. It's pretty good. That orange peel is pretty much gone. We did the best we could. It looks pretty good though. This over here, this is like perfect, guys. I hate to toot my own horn, but toot. I mean, this thing was all completely cracked. This whole corner was all busted up back into here. This was all busted up, had a big old crack along here. You can't even feel anything in there, and that just feels perfect. I don't know why this is like super smooth. This worked really good over here, and this just came out great. This was all busted up too, cracked all the way across here. I mean, that looks perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back with my knife about a ½ inch into the tape. Over here and over there. I'm going to wet sand this too, wet sand the other pieces. And then I'm going to shoot one more quick coat onto it, and then move on to a bunch of other things. Today's my last day on this truck, so I got to get moving. The edges to smooth out the transition. Now before I do this, I'm going to tell you guys that this does not match perfectly. It was actually paint color from a Kenworth, but they're pretty much the same exact paint. The same color. All these trucks are. But there is a difference. But, I mean, it's, unless we took a chip of it off and then had a color match and stuff, that's kind of what should have been done. But we kind of got this paint, and the boss he just wants the stuff fixed and then make him buff it in or whatever later on. Because you can get it look pretty close. Well guys, here's 792, the paint job. This here, yeah, it's different color and stuff. I still have to wet sand this. I ran out of time. I'm still wet sanding this and everything, and then I will take a buffer and buff all this, and we'll bring all the shine back to it. And it'll blend the paints pretty good. It'll look okay. But around this here, and you can see this came out pretty good, guys. That all came out pretty good. It looks good, I mean. And I also painted up in here too, so because this was all again scratched up, so it was all down in the bare. And here is the fairings, and these came out really nice, guys. They look great. I mean, the color is actually not that bad. Are they the smoothest possible? No, but I don't have a paint booth. You know, I did the best I can. You know, not a professional painter, but hey, we got our blue. That's what counts, right? So there you go. So I hope everybody out there has themselves a great day, great night as they are watching this here video. And if you're not, certainly try that all over again tomorrow. There's a couple little things I need to do yet. Looks like he put a brand new tire on here. He did. Sure enough, put a brand new tire on there. Put a brand new steer tire on there. They were a little worn, but truck's not too bad. It's he's going to use it more or less for a local job. I don't know. He's still talking about getting another motor for that APU. I don't know. I said I'd show you guys that APU, how I fixed it. I'll show it to you. You can see I got all the sheets still. I mean, it actually looks pretty good. I welded tabs because these were completely busted off. So I welded a tab on here and on here, and put new bolts in there and stuff. Welded a tab back there, and I put all the bolts in there. Put all new weld nuts in there. Everything is all secure. The muffler's secure. And this whole piece was all busted down here. I welded that all up and everything. So it's all good and secure now. It's just the motor don't work. So we'll figure something out. But truck runs real good now. It's in operation. Basically, he just uses it for local stuff around here. If a truck is needed to do a local run or whatever, or maybe another truck's getting worked on or whatever. And that's what he kind of meant it for. So there we go. I got other jobs I got to get onto. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.